What's going on, guys? It's Unknown Player here, and today we got an absolutely massive amount of new Rise of Iron info and also gameplay, probably the most we've ever gotten for a Destiny release, and this all stems from Game Informer, who is a gaming-based article, and they've got a full 16-page article crammed with Rise of Iron info, images, interviews, and they've got more trailers, gameplay, and more stuff coming out over the next few days and weeks. So in this video, I'll be cramming every single detail I could find about Rise of Iron, and this should be everything you need to know rounded up in one easy place. I won't be going into massive detail on all these features, otherwise we'd be here for like 2 hours. So as usual, I'll space things out and make super detailed videos on each actual feature. So make sure you are subscribed to the channel if you aren't already and have notifications turned on so you never miss an upload from me. There's going to be a ton of videos over the next few weeks, and like I said, Game Informer have a month of exclusive content. The screenshots you're going to be seeing in the background is from a short video that Game Informer put up, and that'll be in the description. And without further ado, I'm just going to throw a bunch of info at you guys, and we're going to round up everything we know so far. So firstly, the new light level in Rise of Iron is going to be 385 at launch, and then it's going to be 400 when the hard mode of the raid launches. The raid itself is called Wrath of the Machine. It's going to be launching on the 23rd of September, so 3 days to prep, unfortunately. That for me is very, very bad news, and it really is unfortunate to hear. I really hope that we get more time to prepare for the raid and actually level up a character. And it means that basically in those 3 days, we're going to be speeding through the expansion, kind of missing stuff and not enjoying it because we have to get ready for the raid as soon as possible and try and get as close to 385 as we can. So it's going to be kind of a rush, which is definitely unfortunate. I wish it was like a week or two before the raid launches, but unfortunately we only have 3 days to prep, so it's going to be a mad rush to try and get close to 385 and do the raid. So those are the details. It's called Wrath of the Machine, and the hard mode is going to be launching a few weeks after, when the light level is going to be raised to 400 with the gear you earn in that hard mode of the raid. It's been described as being action-packed and also focuses on constant mobility, so I'm taking it there won't be many DPS phases where it's just about whittling down the bosses, and it's probably going to be very mechanics-based like King's Fall, where it's about being in a certain place at a certain spot and doing things as opposed to just how much damage can you burn on a boss. So it seems to be focusing on constant mobility. You can also see some of the raid gear right here for the Titan, Hunter, and Warlock. Comment down below which you think is your favorite. My personal favorite is the Warlock. I think it looks awesome, but those are a bunch of details you know about the raid Wrath of the Machine. So moving on, there's also a second endgame activity in this Rise of Iron expansion, which is an arena mode similar to the Prison of Elders. This is called Archon's Forge, and it's basically similar to an arena we've got before in the prison, where it's an endgame activity. There's going to be some kind of wave or objectives or something like that we've seen before. Obviously, it isn't actually a Prison of Elders. It's not in the same place in the Reef. It's going to be a different activity in the Plaguelands. That's another thing we can do as opposed to the raid and also Trials and Iron Banner. It's another endgame activity. So in October, the event Festival of the Lost is going to be returning once again, slightly remodeled. It's going to be bigger and better, and there'll be new masks to collect. Also, Sparrow Racing, the SRL League, that's going to be back in December with new tracks and also modified tracks, and that's only going to be part of a bigger winter event. So the event isn't just going to be SRL, it's going to be a big winter event, and SRL is going to be a small part of it with the new modified tracks that we've seen already, and brand new tracks on the Plaguelands, and of course there's going to be more PvE content. So if you don't like Sparrow Racing, you can do more stuff in this winter event. There's also going to be a record book, which is very similar to the one we saw in Sparrow Racing and also the Moments of Triumph, and that is going to track our progress in the Rise of Iron expansion. Now, this book is going to allow us to earn the Iron Lord armor, weapons, a new ghost shell, and also brand new emblems. So that appears to be how you're earning the actual Iron Lord armor through this book, which tracks your progress in the expansion. The next thing I'm really excited for is this new feature called Ornaments, and this is a customization feature that allows you to customize weapons, armor, and also exotics. You can change the colors of exotics, you can add and remove armor plating and fur. You can really tweak and personalize your armor, weapons, and exotics, and these be earned through endgame activities. So if you have some Trials gear that you want to customize, you need to go flawless in Trials to get an ornament, which will allow you to customize that Trials gear. I'm assuming the raid is the same way. If you complete it or do some kind of challenge in it, you're able to earn these ornaments which will customize your raid weapons and armor. And I'm assuming the exotics, you're able to get those ornaments through maybe Zer, maybe he'll sell the ornaments that allow you to customize those exotics. But really cool level of customization, definitely a lot more compared to Chroma, and I'm really excited for this. Anything that allows you to customize yourself and make yourself different from other Guardians, I can definitely get behind. Now, talking about some exotics, the Thorn, believe it or not, is coming back. That's right, Thorn is coming into Year 3. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Are you happy or unhappy about Thorn returning into Year 3? It seems that most people are in two camps. They either love it or hate it. We don't have any details of how exactly and what circumstances Thorn will be returning and upgraded to Year 3 light levels, but it is returning, and that is a fact we know. Also, the Kvostov, that is actually an exotic weapon, and it's basically the new most customizable weapon in the game. It's got a crazy level of detail and perks. If you look at the screen, you can see an immense amount of options you can choose between fire rate, scopes, recoil, magazine, all this different stuff you can choose. You can make it into a scout rifle, a pulse rifle, or an auto. You can choose a lot of different archetypes, so very interesting exotic there. Now, talking about strikes, the two of them that are returning are the Fogoth strike and the Sepix Prime one. So Fogoth has been kind of mutated into this Hive Abomination, which is now his name, and Sepix Prime is now called Sepix Perfected, and those are two different versions of these strikes. So they've done something very, very cool with strikes, and it's basically a new system of loot. So once you complete any strike, you have a chance to get a skeleton key after any strike in the game. So at the end of every strike also, a chest will spawn with guaranteed strike loot from that specific boss in the strike that you're completing. So basically you can fine tune and target what strike loot you want to go after. I, for example, could say I wanted the Grasp of Moloch, and I could go after farming loads of strikes, pick up say 5 skeleton keys, then once I get the Omnigul strike and defeat her, there'll be a chest that spawns and I can use those 5 skeleton keys and unlock 5 chests and get 5 different rolls of the Grasp of Moloch. I'm sure a few times I would get the Omnigul Bond, but it's going to be working in a similar fashion to you can fine tune and target what loot you want to go after. Obviously not going to make it so you can just easily farm a bunch of stuff. It's going to be very difficult to get a skeleton key in the first place, but when you do get lucky and get a key, you'll have a choice of which strike chest you want to go to get that strike specific loot item. So one of the biggest innovations and most impressive features of Rise of Iron is the artifact system. So they've actually made it a lot more meaningful to collect certain artifacts, and there's going to be 8 brand new ones which are class agnostic, meaning you can put them in any class you want. There's not Titan, Hunter or Warlock specific ones. They're going to be 8 brand new agnostic artifacts which allow you to have special buffs to your characters. There's a lot of detail on a lot of them. I'm going to go over them in a separate video, and it seems like that's what they meant when they said new ways to empower your guardians. So artifacts are going to be a very big part of Rise of Iron, and also an important section of the end game of Destiny. So let's finish off with the brand new Crucible info we've got so far. We know of a new Crucible mode called Supremacy. Essentially it's going to be like Kill Confirmed if you played COD, and you collect tags once you kill enemies and pick them up to score. We still don't know exact details, but it appears to be how it's roughly going to work. There's also a faster respawn times, so it's a lot about teamwork and trying to make sure you aren't dying near enemies so they can pick up your tags. So the tags are actually called crests, and they drop on the floor. They look a lot like engrams, and they also have the class specific logos inside them, which is very strange. Not sure if that means anything. They do have the Hunter, Warlock and Titan logos inside them, so maybe if you pick up a Hunter tag, you need to deposit it into a Hunter area, or maybe only a Titan can pick up a Titan's crest. There's probably something to do with the classes, otherwise there wouldn't be the logos inside of them. So there are 4 new Crucible maps in this expansion. The first one is called Floating Gardens, which is a Vex Shrine on Venus. There's also Last Exit, which is in the Ishtar Sink, and that's on a subway station in Venus. There's also Skyline, which is in a buried city skyscraper on Mars. And finally Icarus, which is the PlayStation exclusive map, and that's on a solar energy collection site on Mercury. So those are the brand new maps we're expecting, and that's about all the info I've collected for you guys. Of course, I'll be going into massive detail on lots of these topics in more videos, so look out for those. Leave a comment down below with what you're most excited for that I've talked about in the video, whether it's ornaments or the Crucible maps, whether it's new strikes or raid, anything about the video, leave your thoughts down below. If you enjoyed the video, then a like rating would be awesome, and I'll see you guys in the next video.